Hey guys, this is Pokemaniac101, and it is a very exciting time because the snapshots for 1.17 are finally starting to come out. And today we're going to go through the first snapshot, 20w45a. Now you may recognize this place from the Minecon video. This is an Amethyst Geode, and as you can see, they actually spawn pretty frequently throughout the world. So chances are wherever you're building, one of these is going to be nearby, which is great seeing as we might have to be building farms around them, like they mentioned in the Minecon video. So the type of block that these are made of is called amethyst, and you actually get two different types. You get a block of amethyst, and you'll get budding amethyst, and this is where the crystals will grow from. As you can see, there's 4 different stations of crystal, and the cool thing about these is that if you place them on a normal amethyst block, they won't grow anymore. So if I place a small one, like right here, for instance, this will stay small permanently, which makes it great for decorating things. Now you might have been able to hear, these things actually make some pretty cool noises when you break them, or place them, or just walk on them. They make some really cool ringing sounds. Now obviously there's not actually any use to this, but it is pretty cool. Also behind these you'll find 2 different types of blocks. You'll get calcite, and then behind the calcite you'll get a block called tuff, which I'm pretty sure is a real material. Now, as far as we know, these blocks don't actually do anything, but they do make some really cool building blocks. Now, the calcite especially I really like because it kind of looks like marble. So you could definitely use this in mixture with like quartz or something to make some really cool old white stone buildings. So yeah, I definitely see a lot of people using calcite in the future. Tuff, it is still pretty cool. You could probably mix it with like gravel or something with for some pathways. So overall I am really excited about these new blocks, and of course you can use the amethyst and stuff for like magic caves or something, which is actually kind of what they're used for in the base game, but but the Minecraft community is well known for taking existing parts of the game and just making them better and more impressive. So I can't wait to see how people make use of these. Now the only other generation change is these copper ore blocks, which of course you can smelt into copper ingots and make a wide variety of cool, kind of industrial looking blocks. I actually really love the texture of just the generic copper block, but if you want to make some stairs and slabs, you'll have to turn it into this cut copper. Now to make cut copper, all you need is these copper blocks, and then if you combine them in a 2x2 area, you can get cut copper. Now, as you probably know, these copper blocks will actually oxidize over time and slowly turn into the green forms, and there's actually a way to combat that. If you just take any one of these blocks and then combine it with a honeycomb, it turns it into a wax copper, which will keep its stage. So if you want to mix these up and not worry about them changing, that is definitely an option. Now we also have some other new blocks around here. First off, we have candles, and you can place them in groups of 1 to 4, kind of like with turtle eggs or sea pickles. Now the way you light them is actually using flint and steel. You don't actually place them lit like you do torches. And of course you can just use that as a little extra bit of detail for your builds. Now the candles actually come in 16 different colors. Well, first you have the default candle, which is just like a normal wax color. And then you get the 16 different dye colors, and all you have to do to get one of these is just take the normal candle and then dye it. So I just take a normal candle, put it in the crafting menu, and put it with some white dye, and we get a white candle. So yeah, these are definitely a really cool new decorative block, and a really funny thing you can do is actually put them on a cake, and you can light it as well, and it kind of makes the entire cake light up. I'm not sure if it's a graphical glitch, but I do actually really like the brighter cake texture. Now you can only put one of these candles on the cake, and as soon as you start eating it, the candle will pop off, but I just thought that was it's a really kind of fun addition to the game. Now next up we have the lightning rod. This is just crafted by taking 3 copper ingots in a column, and this will actually attract lightning in a 2x2 chunk radius around this. So if we just summon a thunderstorm, hopefully if we wait long enough, we'll see a bolt of lightning come down and strike this thing. Now in testing this, I've only seen it happen once, and that's because if you summon lightning, it won't actually redirect that. So if you summon lightning, it'll just be right at your location. So you have to wait for a natural lightning bolt to come down and strike this thing, which is honestly a little bit annoying for a video. But if we just wait long enough, there, you just saw it just happen there. Alright. So yeah, you can use this to deflect lightning from your wooden or woolen or whatever flammable material you're using for your builds and stop them from burning down, which is pretty nice. Now this third new block is called Tinted Glass, which is really cool. You craft it by using normal glass and 4 amethyst shards, which you get from breaking these amethyst clusters in survival mode. Now I want to set the weather to clear for this because tinted glass is actually considered a solid block to the game, so it will block out any lights that it covers up. So this is a really cool way to kind of force darkness, but still be able to see what you're doing. If you're doing like some sort of mob farm or something like that, you could just make an entirely transparent mob farm and it will still work just the same, which is really cool. I really like this block. And just the texture alone is actually really cool. So including the geode blocks, these are all the new blocks in this snapshot, which is actually a pretty hefty amount. Obviously not nearly as much as like 1.12 where they add like 16 new types of concrete and 16 new types of glazed terracotta, but still, you can make some. I can see people making some pretty cool stuff with these. I really like the metallic looking texture of the copper block. I can see someone using that to make like a really cool warehouse or something. Yeah, I'm excited for this update. Now, besides the new blocks, we actually have two brand new items to the game. First, we have the spyglass, which I keep calling a telescope. I'm not sure if it's like an English thing or like a Swedish thing that they call a spyglass, but I don't know. It's called a spyglass, so I guess we'll just have to deal with it. But this will allow you to see at a really far distance, kind of like the Optifine zoom. Now, unlike the Optifine zoom, your mouse is actually not defaulted to smooth when you're doing this, so you kind of have to choose a hotkey to smooth that out if you are used to the Optifine zoom. Another thing I don't really like about this is the overlay. It's just kind of a small viewfinder. The lens is really small, which makes it actually really hard to see things unless you're looking directly at it. Now luckily I took the liberty of making a texture pack which will just take off that overlay, and it does make it a little bit better. You can't see much more than this, so if I do use the looking glass in the future, I will definitely be using a resource pack to either make the lens more transparent or just remove it entirely like I am doing now. The only other thing I don't like about the looking glass is that you can't use it in the third person. It makes this when you go into the third person, you just see your character bringing up to your eye, which is pretty cool. I actually do really like this animation. But as many of you video creators will know, being able to zoom into your character can really add a lot to your video. So personally, I still prefer Optifine over the spyglass, but this is actually a really good option for those of you who aren't making videos, for those of you who are just like playing the game normally. With the resource pack, this is definitely a viable option for someone who really just wants to see far away. So I am really glad they added it to the game. But from a video creator's point of view, personally, I'll just be sticking with Optifine. Now, the other new item in the game is the bundle, which you will actually craft using rabbit hide. Personally, I don't find myself getting a lot of rabbit hide, so getting a lot of these bundles may be a little bit more of a problem, but it also might make rabbit farms viable, so, I mean, that's a plus. Now, what these bundles allow you to do is actually stack a bunch of items that you normally wouldn't be able to stack together into one item slot, which is really great, especially for the early game. To fill the bag, you just take the bag and then go over the items you want to add and right-click. And to empty the bag, you have the bundle out of your hand and then right-click it again. An important thing to know about this is that you can't stack two unstackable items together. So I'm trying to put this water bucket in the bag, but it doesn't actually let me. So if you have like an inventory full of shovels, you can't put 64 shovels in one bundle, which is a little bit of a shame. Now, I haven't actually tested this, but this was the first thing that came into my mind when I saw these bundles is the ender pearls. And it looks like, yeah, you can't stack more than 16 ender pearls in the slot, which is a bit of a shame. That was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw these, and I was really excited to finally have like 64 stack of ender pearls or eggs or anything. Now, to show you exactly how useful this is, I have made a copy of my survival world just as is. I don't know what's in my inventory, but I'm just gonna go into creative mode. This is a copy, so this isn't like messing with anything. I'm gonna go into creative mode, get myself a bundle. Luckily, I have like one spot available for one, and I'm just gonna see how much I can clean up my inventory using this. So, I have a bunch of different mob drops, like spider eyes and gunpowder, bones, some string. What's that? That's almost full. What else can I put in there? I can put some iron maybe, and also some of these flowers and some sugar. And just like that, my inventory is much cleaner than it was before. And then, of course, I can just like left-click this to put all the stuff back in my inventory as needed. Now, I wonder if you can take stuff out of the bag normally. If you just hold it in your hand and right-click it, it just dumps it all into your inventory. So I really wish they would add an option to look in the bag and take out what you need, kind of like with a chest or a shulker box or something like that. I wish there would be like some sort of inventory system with the bundles that allows you to do that sort of thing. But this is the first snapshot, and snapshots are all about A, finding bugs, and B, having the community suggest ideas for them to add in future snapshots. So that's it with all the brand new stuff, but there are actually a few little quality of life changes I wanted to add as well. First of all, you can actually put lava in a cauldron now, and this will output a signal strength of 1 when you put a comparator next to it. And if you're wondering if you still get hurt if lava's in the cauldron, yes. Yes, you do. Now, obviously, I'm in creative mode right now, but as you can see, I'm on fire, and I've tested in survival mode. You definitely do still get hurt from this. Now, this isn't really a quality of life change, but piston arms now actually have a particle effect when you break them. So when you break a piston arm, it just has green or, and then I assume tan for the normal pistons when you break them. So that's just a little added detail. Something a little more substantial is that you can actually make path blocks out of anything now, not just grass. You can make it out of grass, mycelium, coarse dirt, podzol, and just normal dirt. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to put a bunch of dirt down and wait for the grass to spread before you turn it all in the paths, which is, honestly, that's really great. I don't know how many times I've tried to make path blocks from a bunch of land I've just terraformed, and I have to wait for all the grass to grow again. It's not something that happens often, but when it does, it's pretty annoying. So I'm really, really glad they made this change. And to match up with that, these are actually called dirt paths now, not grass paths, because you can make them out of all variations of dirt. Now, I haven't tested this, but I really doubt that this will work. Does it work with nylium? No, it does not. Okay, I didn't think so because it's technically netherrack, not dirt. So yeah, you can make grass paths out of all 5 of these blocks instead of just grass, which, can I say again, is a really amazing change. They've also added a quick select for firework rockets, so in the crafting book now, if you just want to mass craft a bunch of rockets, you can do that, which is really great. Now, this will only work for single gunpowder fireworks, so if you want to do this, this will only use 1 stack of your gunpowder. Personally, I only really use flight duration 1. I can see how this could be a little bit annoying for those of you who prefer to use like 2 or 3, but for someone who only uses flight duration 1, this is really great, being able to mass craft these rockets. There's one last change I wanted to mention, and that is water will no longer wash away rails, which is really amazing. Not only will it not wash away, but you can actually waterlog rails now, and you can actually put minecarts in water as well, which is really great. And I didn't see that before. I've only tested this in standing water. Minecarts are actually affected by flowing water. Also, a little bit of a facepalm moment. I actually made this little bit right here to demonstrate the water logging, but yeah, I guess I just flooded this little part of the desert instead. Yeah, this is how I meant to demonstrate it. Also, an important thing I should mention, minecarts are actually much, much slower in water than they are in land. So you need a power rail basically every 3 blocks in order to get any sort of speed out of this. On straightaways, I've had the minecart stop with 4 blocks of space between power rails. So if you have any plans on making some underwater roller coasters, make sure you're stocked up on gold. So that's basically it for this video. Please tell me if you want to see more snapshot videos in the future. This is kind of a new thing for me. I've had some fun with this video, so I just want to see if you guys want to see some more. So if you want to see more of these in the future, please let me know. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!